Hey there, Michael Beresford here from Open Wealth Creation for today's Wealth WOD, the Property Wealth Workout of the Day. We've had a question sent in regarding holiday units and how they stack up as investments. So thought I'd address that one. A few key points to make. Let me start by saying though, there are numerous ways to make money. Holiday units can be one of them, but they do come with some, some hidden extras that not everyone understands, and obviously the risk side of things can be higher as well. So I guess the first thing is that property management costs on holiday units can easily be double what they would be for a normal residential property. Like suburban house, for example, they can be up as much as 15% plus GST, even more in some cases, but that number is pretty standard. So even though the yield on the property might be really good in terms of the total income for the year, you're actually losing a fair chunk of that due to the property manager having a more high maintenance time given the consistent ins and outs of the different tenants. That also flows on to additional cleaning, typically at least $150 per rental. So if they're only there for 2 or 3 days, while the income might be okay, you are losing some of that yield to the holding cost of the property. Typically holiday units will generally be by the water, so you can have increased maintenance costs as well, or in hot locations, so you can have the impact of heat on the property, peeling paint and so forth, where more maintenance is required again compared to your standard suburban property. I guess the main thing though to consider really overall is how you manage the cash flow side of things. So large chunks of money, especially through the summer months, can be fantastic. But if you have extended periods of vacancy or only weekend bookings every now and again through the winter, then being able to ride the bumps and troughs, so to speak, on the cash flow side of things is a factor that you need to keep in mind. Just an example, I was actually up in Byron Bay, it was about 5 years ago, and the property that we'd rented for the week was actually for sale. And disappointingly, over summer it was horribly wet up in Byron, so I actually did the numbers on this property. It was going to be about $800,000 to buy. The rental income looked fantastic, etc., etc. I talked to local real estate agents about their property management costs, what the cleaning was, etc. And what it came down to, just for us to break even on that property, was rental income of about $90,000 for the year. So obviously significant rental income required. It would have needed to have been leased every single day for the peak 3-month season, and it would have had to have 50% occupancy for the remainder of the year for that to stack up. So when I considered all of that, obviously against other types of investments, the locations of them, how they're going to value up, how I'm going to unlock equity to allow me to get my next one, and so on and so on. Most of all though, it was just the income and the cash flow risk was too great. So hopefully that's been useful. Holiday units can work, the income can be great, but just remember, people generally tell you the income can be great when they get a large chunk of rental income over summer. It needs to be averaged out across the whole year, and just make sure that you're looking at all of the numbers, including the holding costs, when assessing if they're viable for your situation. So hopefully that's been useful. Holiday units, they can work, but not for me.